Hey guys, thank you for taking the time. Just wanted to get overall thoughts on this one. Obviously tough to fall this way after getting some chances late there.
Yeah, I think before heading into this game, we talked about it's going to be a tough one. We've just come off a win against Kansas City and trying to keep that mentality and momentum going. We knew we had to win first and second balls and be aggressive today, and I think we lacked that a little bit. And that's just something we have to stick to the game plan with and, be aggressive and see out a game like that. So we'll have to go back to film and look at that and, prepare for the next game. It's a quick turnaround.
And to that point, obviously it's a quick turnaround and you've just come off the field, but looked like there was some disconnect, not as much finding feet in this one. Do either of you have any thought to why that might have happened? Was it the way Houston played or just maybe not as much connection between you guys in this one?
Yeah, I feel like we lacked a little bit of chemistry today, just not on the same page. It happens in this game, and, you go down 1-0 and you have a lot of momentum. It becomes chaos, so you got to find a little calmness in those moments, and I think we need to do better. We have a younger team this year, so making sure the veterans are able to, step up into those moments and make sure we see out a game. We had 10 minutes left, and we're already, stretching the game, and I think we can play a little bit more and have better opportunities in the final third.
You mentioned opportunities in the final third. Sort of, you got several good chances there at the end, but until that point, felt like the offense was kind of struggling to get clear opportunities or chances where Houston's defense didn't have a ton of numbers back. Just what would you say contributed to that?
Yeah, I think we have to show a lot of respect to Houston. I thought they had a good game today. I think collectively as a group, we know we weren't at the races and we weren't good enough all round, both in and out of possession. Why that is, we need to figure that out ourselves internally and work on that. And I think, we're not creating the chances that we'd like for our forwards to have. That's on us as midfielders and defenders behind to, make better service for them to finish the chances. But, this is just a blip in one game. We've had a few good runner games and we've had really good positive performances up till now. So it's a blip and we just can't take too much from it and learn from our mistakes today and be better for Friday.
It did feel after Houston scored a little bit like some of the games last season where you guys would concede and then sort of struggle to get back into the game or just maybe be down a bit on yourselves. Did it feel at all like that? And how do you come back next week and make sure, you don't sort of get down if you go down a goal or something like that?
Yeah, I'd actually think this year that we've done pretty good after conceding and getting back into those first 5 minutes after a goal. We conceded a little bit later this game, and, when you have a lot of momentum or, it's just really transitional, it's hard to get control of the game. And like I said, I think that comes onto the experienced players to help that and see that through. But at the end of the day, when situations come like that, it's just a grind, right? You need to win first and second balls. Which was a game plan today. We knew with Houston it was going to be a battle, and I think love to look back on the stats and see how that looked, but I think we could have won a little bit more first and second and been a little bit more aggressive and proactive in those moments, and just keeping momentum in moments like that does really help, and it would turn a game. So as we continue to move forward, we got to look in those moments.
All right, we'll take Jada and then Nico over here.
Thanks for taking the time. For either of y'all, what was maybe the conversation that you were having at halftime, especially when you have a tight first half? What were you maybe trying to communicate with each other at the half?
Yeah, I think at halftime it was about concentrating on ourselves and us as a group, and if we were to deliver the game plan and up our game, we would have won the game, and we didn't do that. So that was the black and white of the situation. We came in and we weren't happy with the first half, but we were still in the game. It was still 0-0 at the time, and we knew if we'd have upped our game that, being at home in front of our fans with them behind us, it would have made a difference. But we weren't at the races today, and, we're the first to admit that as a group. And, and all we can do now is look forward, look ahead, and make sure we put it right for the next game.
And then it's important to have, good substitutions, game-changing kind of moves when you get from a player off the bench. Can you talk a little bit about like Emery and Maddie and the shots that they were able to at least get for you guys?
Yeah, I think that's the key word, game changers. I think we have a really strong squad this year, and everyone is competing for a starting place, and we have players on the bench who are ready to come on and make a difference. And I thought Emery was great, especially Emery when she came on today. She picked up really nice pockets and had a few nice shots on target too. So everyone is preparing every week to play whatever minutes they have, and I think as a group we are in a strong place, and it's just about making them find margins and turning them in our favour, and it will come. We're a good group, and we analyse ourselves and we look within first, and we'll make sure that as a group the whole squad will be back in a better place by next week.
Okay, we'll take Nico and then Jeff.
After the Houston goal, saw that the whole team huddle up, was having a bit of a team talk. What were the overall mindsets of all the players, and what was the main message to bounce back into the game while in that huddle?
I think I touched on before, it gets chaotic in those moments, and obviously it takes a little bit of wind out of our sails when you go down, but it was just to focus on ourselves again, focus on the game plan and make sure we execute that, and just to put our heads down, work hard, grind for each other, and just push through. We needed to chase the game. We needed to get a goal today to get a point. So, yeah, I think we just kind of huddled up to regroup and to make sure we refocused to move forward in those last couple of minutes.
And as far as responses from going down, there's, of course, a good contrast compared to last season. So what would if there are any positives to take from today's match, what would be the positives to take into the next games to bounce back?
Yeah, I think this year especially, we're a team that does bounce back. We've gone a goal down and we've turned games around, and maybe that wasn't within the group last year. We didn't have that mentality and that drive to change games when things weren't going our way. We have that this year in abundance, and we've gone a goal down a few times and we've come back, and it wasn't there today, but we know and we believe within the group that if we go a goal down, we'll get one right back. And like I mentioned, it wasn't there today. The whole group we were a bit off and we were a bit flat, and we weren't where we expect ourselves to be, but we will learn from it.
As we saw you going forward a bit more today, over the last several matches, there's been a lot with the partnership with you and Sam and playing a bit more with Lynn. Is that just a natural progression of you guys playing a number of matches together, or was that just how the game presented to itself? Because you've normally played more of a defensive role. Today we saw you really getting forward a bunch.
Yeah, firstly, I think... What are you laughing at?
You go, honey.
Firstly, I really enjoy my partnership with Sammy. I think we complement each other quite well, and I know if it gives me that freedom to get forward, because I know Sammy will be right behind me and vice versa. I think today it was just what the game presented. It was a bit more of our game plans to push one of us a little bit higher, and predominantly it happened to be me. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it at the minute with Sammy. I think she's having a great season so far, and a partnership takes time to build, and we're definitely building one.
All right, we'll go here to Charles and then Bella and then Jada.
Obviously, of course, not the result, but what was it like for you both to have your mothers in attendance for this one? I know, Lou, you've mentioned having your mom in attendance for matches before, but I'm sure this may be a little more special. Just if you could both recollect a little bit about what the last few days have been like. I know the Rain posted the video of you meeting your mom at the airport.
Well, our mums are best friends now.
My mom came down. I sat with Hazard's mom all game.
No, it's so nice to have our mums here. I don't get to see mine as much as I'd like, so for the Rain to give us the opportunity to all fly our mums over, it was really special when we heard the news. And yeah, it's been really nice. We as a group with each other all the time, but to have all of our mums here at the same game, having the experience too has been really nice for them. And I'd like to dedicate the game today to all the mums and grandparents who are here, and you're all amazing people, and we all can't thank you enough for everything that you do, so thank you.
Yeah, I think it's just special moments like this, right? They come to a lot of games, but they've got to do a lot of in-game, on-field stuff. My mom and Lynn's mom were on a panel today, so just being able to be part of it was a little bit different, and I think that made it really special. we're driving to the game. My mom's like, I'm a little nervous for the panel. I'm like, it's okay. I'm a little nervous for the game. Like, we're good. So yeah, just being able to share that experience was really special today. And to honestly, like for me, get to meet other mothers as well, like is super special. I think I really invest in people on this team. So to be able to also see their moms and have that connection really just makes a difference. It's pretty cool.
Well, that would have been a very nice note to end on. Unfortunately, I have another question. And obviously, again, not the result. But for you, you've been particularly impactful for this team this year. You've, been putting in some of your best performances and just looked really comfortable on the field in particular. I'm just wondering sort of what, if anything, changed for you this season, or whether you feel like nothing particularly changed and maybe you're just getting ready for the Euros. What does that feel like for you?
Yeah, I think this is the hardest league in the world. For me to come over here and transition, it was always going to take some time. Maybe I didn't realise how much time that would take, and I reflected a lot in the off season. I always look within first, and I always thought last season I could have done better in performances, and my performances weren't where I'd quite like them to be. I worked hard in the off season and made sure I came back a better player. So it's a little bit of that. I just think it takes time to adapt in this league. It's very different to what I've known in the WSL before, and it is the hardest league in the world. So I'm up against the best players, and I had to up my game, had to change my game tactically a little bit. Not the quickest of players, so we know about that, don't we? So you have to adapt your game, and I spent a bit of time doing that. I've worked hard with the coaches, and I feel like I'm in a better spot this year than I was last year, and I've still got levels to go to that I'm really hoping that I meet too.
I've been telling her a lot. I've been so proud of her, and she's been putting in a lot of work. But I think at the end of the day, too, if you have the support and confidence, you'll do well on this team and you'll do well in this league. So I think she stepped into those roles pretty well and is continuing to be consistent and, reliable. And it's one of the best feelings. So we're so proud of her. Yeah.
You're a week out from the debut of Salmon Bay. Wanted to know, how has it been? It seems like an opportunity to learn, the bit more of the business side of soccer and running a team in a sense with other investors. But what's that been like as far as balancing it with the reign responsibilities that you have and just outlook of the season?
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, I've done a lot of community impact off-field things, and that's been something I've been really proud of, and been in a community that's allowed me to, really grow in that area. So being able to invest in women's soccer myself in this way has been truly incredible, both on the business side, but also just being able to give opportunity to girls that want to play pro, and this is a different avenue for them to go and be seen by, players and coaches here at the Reign, being in such a unique community and area up here in Seattle. So I am so proud of what they've created. One of the owners that I work closely with, Sam, Lamar, you guys know from Seattle as well. They've just done it right. And they've always, from the jump said with the women's side that they wanted women investors and women owners to be involved because they were all male and they were like, we don't know what we're doing on this side, so please take over. So I think them just doing that has shown how important it is to them, but now how important it is for us to continue to highlight and just make it a soccer city that it is for all levels will be super important. So yeah, I'm so excited for them to start. We actually play Z, which is going to be pretty exciting. I live on the west side as well, so it's big collision in so many ways right now. But yeah, I'm just super proud of where it's gone, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback. So yeah, we're going to continue to make it grow. We have some stuff up our sleeve, hopefully, with Salmon Bay soon, so hold tight and we'll see where this goes. But yeah, I wore my Salmon Bay jersey today walking in for game day fits to continue to push forward women's soccer.
All right, we'll take the last one here on Zoom from Theo. Theo, go ahead.
What up, Theo?
Hi, just a quick one. You made a very touching kind of tribute to Savvy King before the game, and I was wondering if you could talk about that.
Yeah, I just think in moments like that, it's just a very good reminder that soccer is so small, but so powerful in its community and its support. And you can just see how quickly, how quickly and how strong this community is. So yeah, we are so happy and grateful that she's feeling better and is stable right now. I don't know much after that and where she's at now, but yeah, scary moments like that, but all we can do is, stick together, keep the community strong, keep our prayers up, and wish for a speedy recovery for Savvy.